So welcome to yet another episode of the SRAD channel. In this video I will explain you how we change our tires. Since we do track days and plan on doing racing next year, and slicks and other race tires won't last as long as street tires do, being able to change your own tires is a good way to save a lot of money. So the first step Rob just did is to push down on the old bead, so you have enough space to get this tire changing grease in there, and this grease makes it a lot easier to pull the old tire off the rim. So after that's done, the next step will be to pull the tire off the rim. For this, our tire changing tool has this special plastic slide. This hooks under the side of the rim, and then we apply some of that tire changing grease to that and use one of these tire levers to pull the bead over the slide like this, and then you can use this extension bar to you just turn the whole thing, but be sure to lock the rim in place using this bolt thing, and have your mate give you a hand securing the whole device, because this can take some force depending on how long the tire is mounted to the rim, or I don't know, like different types of tires. And once that's done, you use a tire lever to pull the lower bead over the slide like this. This can be a bit tricky, and after that's done, you just repeat the process and you should be able to remove the tire. So now it's time for the other tire to go onto the rim, and the first step is to apply this tire changing grease on both sides of the tire. Be sure to cover it nicely, all the spots, especially the bead, so it can go easy over the rim. Then you have to be sure of the rotational direction of the tire, so you don't put it on there like backwards, which is a bad thing. And yeah, there are some special things I will come to later. So after that, you place the tire on the rim, and you should be able to fairly easy push the first bead over the rim like Rob does here. And yeah, for the second rim, we just use this slider piece again. So we push one side of the bead over the rim, which is fairly easy done. Yeah, you see it here. And then we use this slider to hook under the rim like this, tighten it down, and then we use this slider to push the bead over the rim one spot at a time. So one more thing which is fairly good to know is that some manufacturers put markings on their tires where the tire is the lightest, and usually you place these marks at the position where your valve is, your tire valve. Right now we are a bit off, so since there is no air in the tire right now and the bead isn't properly seated, we are able to turn the tire on the wheel. So we have this spot right where the valve is. This should make it a lot easier for us to balance the wheel later on. So after that's done, the next step is to properly seat the beads on the rim. We do this by using an air compressor and pump air quickly into the rim. You cannot really do it by hand with like a hand pump or something, because air is constantly escaping until both beads are properly seated, and you can hear the beads being seated by like plop coming from the tire. You should hear 2 plops since there are 2 beads. So now that both beads are seated, we just put the right amount of air in the tire, so after we're done, we can just mount it and go riding. So now we are going to show you how we balance this wheel. First you put this axle in the wheel, and then you are able to put it on this balancing device. When that's done, be sure that you have all the old tire weights on there removed, and you just let the tire spin out so you are able to identify the lightest spot on the whole wheel. So after that's done, I just use some old tire weights I have lying around and some tape to put it on the spot where I estimated the lightest spot on the wheel, to balance that out. So right now I think this is 10 grams or 20 grams or something like that, and I tape it on there and just move the tire a bit and let it go again. And as you can see, the tire wants to rotate in its old position. That means that I still need more weight on this spot. So since this is still too light, I apply some more weights on the other side. So now you can see the effect of too much weight. So I add another piece, like 10 grams, let go of the tire, and you see it tries to spin away from the direction it spun before. So now I am close to the point where it's perfectly balanced, and I remove this like 10 gram piece and put like a 5 gram piece on there. So I'm slowly narrowing down the perfect weight for this tire to be balanced. And here we go. You see the tire is not in the position where it was before, so the former lightest place isn't like on 12 o'clock but more like on 3 o'clock, and the tire is not spinning anymore or going very, very slowly. This is sufficient for us, and now it's time to remove these old weights, put proper ones on there. course, since you can now access every spot on the wheel, it's a good opportunity to give it a good clean. And that's it, job done.